Good evening. I realized on our last video there were certain things that I said that was not shown on camera. So I remember I was talking about the space from the top of your handle keeper to the top of your bag, and we did that. Here it was 3/4 of an inch. That is the space from this line to the top of the bag. That is the handle keeper right there. I think um, I didn't show that on camera. So the purpose of this space here is to allow the working foot of your machine to go through smoothly when doing the top stitch. So I also talked about leaving half inch on both sides at the end of your pattern. This half inch, this line here to here is half inch. I also talked about leaving that is because after we must have put the bag together, we're going to fold just as you see here. Here I did just a 1/4 inch. I did just a 1/4 inch. But for someone who is still learning, who is still trying to get some skills, it's good to leave half of an inch. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about making a handbag handle, just as this one here, making a handbag handle just as this one here. So what you will need to do is to get your cord or whatever you're going to use to pipe the handle, and you have your tape. And you measure all around it. That will give you how wide your handbag handle pattern is going to be. Okay, right here I have 1.75, 1 3/4 of an inch. If you can see right there, 1 3/4 of an inch. That is what I have right there, 1 3/4 of an inch. So our handbag handle pattern is going to be 1 3/4 of an inch by how long you want the strap to be. That is the distance from this side and all the way to this side. So in this case here, this is a little bit long. Is according to customer specs, so we can do this particular bag a little shorter. So I have here a piece of cardboard paper. It is measuring about 2.5 by 22 inches. So basically we're going to do the same rule. We're going to fold it both vertically and horizontally. Horizontally in the middle, or both sides in the middle. So this is 2.5. I'm going to do 1 1/4, and I'll score. I will fold that off camera, then I'll come back. So there it is. Folded it this way, and we also folded it this way. So we're going to make that 1.75. Right there. I've reduce that to 1.75. So now we'll get to designing this part right here. So I went ahead and I made 3 lines of camera. This first line will be where my stitch line will stop when I fold this, when I've cut out my leather for the handle and I glue it to stitch. This is where my stitch line will stop. And from here to here will be this part from here to here. And from here to here will be the strap, will be the part that is going to go around the ring. Around the ring. In this case, we're going to be using this D-ring. Since it is not as wide, since it is not as thick as this one right here, this is, you can see the difference. It's really tiny. Since it is not as thick as this one, we're going to give about 3/4 of an inch. 3/4 of an inch, just sufficient space for the leather to go around it. And this part will be the part that is going to go all around, is going to go in the D-ring and come back right to this point. This is where my stitch line, when I'm stitching the handle, you can see the stitch line. This is where the stitch line will stop. And this is that line right here. So we are cutting this edge right here. If you can see, this is what I did. This is the 3/4 here. This part is going to go around the D-ring. And this part will fold and it's going to close off right there. I intentionally made this part broad enough so we mimic the design of our strap keeper. So we have done both ends, this end and this end. So the next step is to glue this onto another cardboard paper to make it steady enough so we can use. So we have come to the end of this part of the video. The next video we're gonna be talking on the closure. I'm gonna touch a little on the closure because if you are still learning, still trying to acquire some skills, it is not good to make your closure from the parting stage. It is always good to stitch up your bag and measure the top of the bag before doing your closure. So we're gonna do that at that stage, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna show you the tricks, and also we're gonna talk about in the next video. We're gonna talk about dropping in the lining. We're gonna touch all that in the next video. So until then, my name is Peter from Promega Leather. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe, like our videos, and share to other leather crafters out there. Until tomorrow, peace.